To those of us who have PTSD, we experience three different kinds of symptoms. One involves living a trauma. And when that happens, we become upset when we are confronted with the reminder of the trauma. Let me give you a good example, a very simple example. Suppose that the car has a backfire. It sounds like it's coming from a rifle. That incident will trigger reliving firefights and combats. One of my colleagues and friends and his friend were waiting for a turn to be served at a restaurant in South Vietnam. They were sitting in the middle of the restaurant. Suddenly, someone threw a grenade, exploded, killed several civilians and one of his friends. Today, my colleague will not go to a Vietnamese restaurant. And if he does go to a non-Vietnamese restaurant, he will only sit in the back, allowing him to see who might be coming into the restaurant. The grenade explosion happened in 1969, and today he has yet to go to a Vietnamese restaurant. Another symptom is staying away from places or persons who reminded us of the trauma. Doing this obviously isolates us from other people, as my friend. To a lot of us who experience PTSD, we do not watch any TV news being broadcasted from Iraq or Afghanistan. As Vietnam veterans, watching this news reminds us of the trauma we went through in Vietnam. We also, when we're experiencing trauma, we avoid people. And that's nothing personally, we avoid you. Sight, sound, smell, or anything reminding us of the trauma. I did not participate in the Tet celebration, because when I was in Vietnam, the first thing I had was the Tet Offensive of '68. That was always in my mind. And after a few years ago, I forgave myself and finally attended my first Tet festival in San Jose. Over 50% of men with PTSD have problems with alcohol. Sometimes because alcohol gives us the numbing effect of hiding your psychological disorder, such as PTSD. In women, more than half of them experience depression. The next most common problems are fears, anxiety, followed by alcohol. And also PTSD sufferers experience from psychotic disorder. They also experience physical symptoms leading to medical disorders. About 30%, 3 out of 10 men and women who spent in a war zone experience PTSD. Over 50% of all Vietnam veterans male, and almost 50% of all Vietnam females have suffered from serious stress reaction symptoms of PTSD. From the Gulf War, PTSD sufferers is estimated to be as high as 10%, while in Afghanistan, between 6% and 11%, in Iraq, from 12 to 20%, 1 out of 5. Men and women who served in Iraq and Afghanistan not only suffered from PTSD, they also suffered traumatic brain injury. When something hit your head with tremendous force, traumatic brain injury happens. Riding on a convoy in your vehicle makes sudden stop, you turn and hit your head on the windshield. The impact will result in traumatic brain injury. You might be close to the explosion of an improvised device, IED, sharpen and enters the brain, and the result is traumatic brain injury. Those who sustain TBI may result in not being able to concentrate. TBI also results in changing the senses, hearing, vision, smell, and touch. You may also have difficulty following, followed with emotional and behavioral changes. I had a friend from Iraq who suffered from TBI. I'll be talking to him for 1 minute, and he'll be saying yes, and then the other minute he said, "What is that you were saying?" And I have to repeat it again. So please keep in mind that you're with someone who suffered from TBI inpatient. Our brain almost weighs as much as 3 pounds. As small as it is, it's performs a tremendous job with the rest of our body. Believe it or not, our brain regulates and controls of our physical movement. It also controls our senses and our ability to think, act, feel, and communicate. Who and what we are is regulated and controlled by our brain. When our brain is functioning properly, we perform well. However, can you imagine if our brain is not functioning properly and injured? Communications among every part of our brain stop or get disrupted. Simple tasks we used to do normally and take for granted are now difficult. We used to be able to think real quickly. Now we can hardly think. We used to be able to remember what happened to us. Now before we even remember what happened to us the last 20 to 30 minutes. The hardest part of it all is if our brain is shaking. It may never return to its original shape. It's a possibility for those who suffer from TBI. Coupled TBI with PTSD, they were experiencing tremendous changes this week back in life. As a community, what can we do to help those who are suffering specifically from PTSD and TBI? When some of us came home from Vietnam, we were not welcomed as those from World War II who were welcomed as heroes. Those who came from Korea were also welcomed home as heroes. But Vietnam was a different story. In fact, when we witnessed Vietnam veterans talking to each other and embracing, this is a significant form of saying welcome home. It's a count for the lack of welcome to receive from the general public when coming home from Vietnam. If you know a Vietnam veteran, or when you see a Vietnam veteran, please tell him to welcome him. Make him girl feel at home. Thank them for their services. As a society, we raise our children, our sons, and our daughters to be good and law-abiding citizens. Sometimes those we raise ended up serving with our armed forces, as the previous speaker mentioned. When this happened, we are truly proud of them. However, if the time they are serving happens to be a time in which our country is in conflict with another country, our sons and our daughters may be going to war. As a family, no one ever prepares us in coping when our sons and daughters go to war. A friend of mine told me that his mother placed a figurine of the Blessed Virgin Mary in the kitchen so that his mother could pray for his return. Each breakfast, his mother prayed for her son, soon returning to breakfast. Each lunch, he does the same. And so for dinner. While he served in Vietnam for a year, his mother prayed for his return for over 1,000 times. He came home like he was when he left Vietnam. See the power of prayers? And on the other hand, I have a colleague who served 3 times in Iraq. He's term Indian and is leaving the army with honorable discharge. Being at war brings tremendous stress, but he really looks forward to coming home. He told me that it was like yesterday we were being shot at, and today we are being sent to your family. He says you need time to cool down. Cooling down lasted 3 months, and in the process, his mother wanted him to go to work. The more he keeps saying, "Yes, Ma," the more his mother pushes him to go to work. So after 2 months of not working, his mother's friend kept asking her when her son would go to work. As insistent as her friend is, soon the mother started hearing her telling neighbors her son is a bomb. Please be patient with your sons, your daughters who went to war. Don't expect them to act normal today when yesterday they were killed. Be sensitive to their needs. Don't be judgmental. They need you to understand. You need to understand them. The sons and daughters you know before going to war are not different. Allow them time, patience, love, and most of all, understanding and support. They served their country with courage and determination. Now it's our country's turn to serve them with patience, financial help, and understanding. Thank you for your time.